Hi Cancer, welcome back. This is your extended Oracle of Love, who's coming towards you for singles. But this reading will be delving further into this person's past and how your relationship will be together should you come together in the future. Now, we did speak about there's a soulmate twin flame connection here. We did have the Wheel of Fortune under the Four of Chalices here. You did have the Two of Cups, the Lovers card below here as well. So we do see a beautiful, intense connection potentially coming up for you, Cancer. Let's have a look into this person's past relationship, what they were lacking, why the relationship went wrong, and what it is that they're looking for this time around. Oh, okay, you've had too many cards flip over, so we're not going to select those. A bit too much. That one's sticking out. Okay, Six of Cups. It's potentially someone they were with for a very long time. They might have been together since they were children, since they were teenagers. There's a strong sentimental factor with this ex for the person. They might have had children together as well. They could have fallen pregnant with a child, but then maybe had an abortion. They might have young children with them from this relationship. But there's nostalgia with the Six of Cups. Look, I think it was a relationship where they both learnt a lot from each other with the Six of Cups. This shows as a strong development of learning. We see these young children, we see the flowers, which are both symbolic of growing, learning, blossoming. So it's almost like they either grew up together and then started dating, or they very much learned a lot about each other in terms of love and what they wanted. Let's see why it went wrong though, because the Six of Cups is a very strong connection. Okay, Ace of Cups. They were quite serious with this person. They wanted a future. They might have been engaged or were seriously planning engagement or marriage. They could have been with someone that was married before and that had children from a previous marriage or commitment. They might have even played stepmother or stepfather to this person, to the children of this person. So there was a very strong connection here. Could have been another water sign as well. So I wonder what happened here in this relationship. It could be that they were wanting children and this commitment, and it didn't happen. Things might have been moving too quickly with the Ace of Wands here. We see these wands and it's almost like someone is demanding these things. So it could have been them, or it could have been their ex was demanding things too quickly, either children, engagement and marriage, and this is what maybe had put this person off because they weren't prepared for that. They weren't prepared to give them that commitment because they weren't ready at the time. I think they traveled together. They traveled a lot with the Ace of Wands. I think there was a lot of movement. For the most part, I think there was too much movement too quickly. So things might have happened way too quickly than they had intended with the Ace of Wands. Could also have been a fire sign. Okay, Page of Swords. This is coming up as lack of certainty, lack of movement forward. So there's definitely things were moving too quickly and one person didn't like it. It could have been this person you're dealing with or their ex, but one of the parties just wasn't ready. Look, they're looking back, they're uncertain. The Page of Swords is such a conflicted figure. It's someone that doesn't have their priorities right. It's someone that can't wholeheartedly commit to something, at least not then and there. So I think this is why the relationship fell flat on its face, because this person just couldn't commit, or this person's ex just couldn't commit. Was, we see this person holding the sword and it's sort of very, very loosely in his hand, so he's not holding it with confidence or with certainty. We see him looking back. We see 1 foot forward and 1 foot facing back, so they might have been looking back on their past still, or they might have been hesitant to move forward because they were still wanting to live a life, whether it was singledom or just you know, something different from what they were forced to enter into. And I think someone was forcing, someone was definitely leading more than the other. And it was, maybe things were just, this other person just wanted things too quickly. And if they did have a relationship from their childhood, then I think this person was lacking action. Because they might have been together from childhood or from a very young age, they lacked that passion and certain life experience that comes with having multiple partners over a certain amount of years. Because that's how you know, the more exposure you have to different people and the more relationships you have, the more you are exposed to how different people think and feel and what resonates with different people. So I think a part of that impacted them. And this is why they couldn't be in that relationship. This person could very much be in their mind as well. They could shy away from exposing too much. Okay, Queen of Wands. It could be because of lack of sexuality, lack of passion, lack of commitment. And we see this Queen of Wands, and she is quite open. So it could be that the other was not as open-minded. Their ex might not have been as receptive as they were to an idea. So maybe it was them that wanted the commitment, wanted the children, wanted to be a stepmother or father, wanted the action, wanted to take the relationship into their own hands. But then someone didn't want the same thing. Someone wasn't as open. One person was open and receptive and willing. The other, not so much. The other is looking back. The other is hesitant to move forward. The other doesn't feel like they have a firm footing, or is sort of feel like they're coasting along this relationship. So I think that's why it fell apart. Looking at these cards here. So they are wanting passion. I think that's very important. I think sex is very important to them. Spirituality, sentiment is very important to them. And I think this is where you would come in, Cancer, and offer them these things, because you are very sentimental, and you do remember things, and you are very thoughtful, and you are able to give them and devote so much of yourself and your emotion to this person. I think they would be extremely happy to have you, and looking in terms of compatibility, you two would seem quite compatible. Let's have a look how the two of you would feel, or how this relationship would be should the two of you get together. On the left-hand side, I'd like to do how you feel. And on the right-hand side, we will do how they feel. Okay, this card one's sort of leapt out. Okay, Three of Wands. This is really, really beautiful. The Three of Wands in this deck is the flowering papyrus. It's fertility, birth, beautiful blossoming, receiving the fruits of your labor. This is someone you'll want to have children with, potentially. We spoke about the Two of Cups. This is coming in really strong, that potentially you'll want to have children with this person. You'll see there's a future with this person. And you'll see it in their actions. You'll see it in who they are with the Three of Wands. You'll see the authenticity of this person. And it's just, you'll love the way this relationship will progress. You'll feel really emotionally secure and comfortable, and you'll feel there's a future. So maybe you don't want to have children, and you know, children aren't for you, and that's okay. But you will just, regardless, you'll just love how you grow together, and how there's always something new to learn about this person, and there's always something very intriguing about them that keeps you on your toes. It's almost like there's an element of surprise to this person that just keeps you going and keeps you very intrigued. But beautiful blossoming relationship here. There's a lot of action as well. I feel like there's opportunities for the two of you to travel together, but you'll definitely feel there's a beautiful future with this person. Okay, what do we have? The Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles can denote a bit of setbacks. And in particular in this deck, it's setbacks over money or finances or assets. So again, I think this money factor, this greed, or this ambition will affect the relationship. Hopefully not too much, but I think on some level with the Five of Pentacles, it can be problems in money or physical problems. So anything to do with material possessions or money, assets, or setbacks. I think it has more to do with finances because I think it's the nature of this person. And the setbacks to the relationship could be that there's more concentration on the physical. So either as much as they do want, you know, physicality, it might even be too much for you, Cancer. You might just tire of this constant physical need, and this might in turn shape and, you know, set back the relationship. And that's not to say they're, you know, they're nymphos and they just want sex all the time. It's just to say that they are very demanding in that aspect because they're very demanding for you and your sexuality. And this could be a setback in the relationship. So look out for that with the Five of Pentacles. But again, it's only minor with the Five. But we do see what look like cobras here. So it's almost like this sort of sneaky snake vibe. They could be sneaky about money as well. This might affect the relationship. King of Wands. Okay, you will feel that they're quite nurturing though. They do offer you a lot of affection and vice versa, which is really, really good. The King of Wands is seen as, in particular in this deck, the King of Wands is someone that's quite mature, that wants to give you help and guidance. So I think you'll feel quite nurtured by this person. And, you know, we see this Pharaoh here, and he looks like he's quite in charge of a lot. He's quite a senior figure. So it's almost like you'll really, really look up to them. They will have quite a large influence over you. But they'll want to help and guide you, and you'll see them as this benevolent, nurturing figure, and I think you'll enjoy it for the most part. You'll feel like they're a man or they're a woman of action in this relationship. And this will definitely drive the blossoming and growth of the relationship. Okay, let's have a look at them. The Hierophant. Okay, the Hierophant. They do see you as someone very, very important. They do respect you for your ideas, your sentimentality. There's certain features, characteristics of you that they will really, really embrace and really enjoy. The Hierophant is seen as a marriage card. So I think they're thinking about marrying, potentially you, that you're someone they could see themselves marrying. For some, you definitely will marry this person. The Hierophant has this sort of religious, priestly connotation. So that's where the marriage factor comes in. And it's idolatry. It's mesmerized. I think there's a part of you that appeals to them very much. Almost feel mesmerized. So again, I think this comes into the attraction, but it's deeper than that. We saw the Six of Cups, and we have the Ace of Cups here. So they're wanting that emotional bond, which you can offer them, and hopefully with that you can offer them that same physical component, because that's very important to them. But again, the Hierophant is a very well-respected, revered, mature figure. So I think for the most part in this relationship, this is how this person will be towards you, and this is how they see you. But marriage is coming in quite strong, or very, very serious commitment. Okay, the King of Chalices. Really strong. I love that it's a king, the Hierophant. This person has a lot of, holds you in very high regard. This is emotional goodness, emotional reliance. Again, it's almost like there's a codependency here, and they'll depend on you emotionally. They'll need your support. And I think for a lot of times you could grow a little bit tired of this, but they're one that demands a lot from you emotionally. But they know they can rely on you. They know you'll have their back. They know it. They trust you. That's what this foundation will be built upon, is trust and emotional reliance. This dependency where, okay, although they might seem very big and strong and mighty and no one can bring them down, but you'll see a real vulnerable side to them, and they'll want you to see that, because this is how they'll see you. This emotional rock for them, someone to lean on, someone to, at the end of the day, when you take away all their wealth and strip them off of their material possessions, they'll be left with you, your thoughts, your advice, your solace, your words, your comfort. This is someone who could potentially fall very, very deeply in love with you. And I think they might fall in love with you first. Last card. Okay, we have the Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords can represent sleepless nights, nightmares, suspension, blockages. It's the blades of the god Thoth, which was the moon god. So this is intuition. This is creativity. This is, because they have such an analytical mind, we saw with the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, the Queen of Swords. There's something about words here, or there's something about how they think or communicate. They could have anxiety. They could have jealousy issues as well. Something to do with the way you talk or the way you say things will make them a little bit edgy. It could be that you like to bring up the past. It could be that you might mention certain things from their past or from your past, and this might not necessarily sit well with them, with the Nine of Swords. It could also be that if they have to travel for work, this can show sleepless nights because of loneliness and anxiety and insomnia. But towards the relationship, they might feel like there's blockages somewhere. It's almost like there's a disagreement. It could be towards the money. Remember, we did have the money here. It could be even talking about money or opening up about money or ambition, career, wealth, etc. This might be really hard for them to do, and that's why we see this block with the blades that are crossing over. But for the most part, I do think it's really positive, and there's potential to get married, because look at the card that's inviting and bringing the two of you together. The card that's doing so is the Ace of Cups. This is a beautiful emotional connection built on trust, built on emotional reliance, built on, seeing the fruits of this relationship. It's the hand of God, so it's obviously fated. This person is a fated person coming in. We saw that with the Wheel of Fortune down the bottom here as well. And it has a religious connotation. It has the Eucharist, the dove, the chalice. It's someone potentially offering you their cup, someone potentially wanting to marry you and enter into this sort of relationship together. So I think you have a lot to look forward to, Cancer, for the most part. So I hope this has been insightful. I hope it's been enjoyable, and we will chat soon. Thanks again for watching.